Hey, what is up? It is N Squared Sports, and we're going to do some reactions.
That's a great job because we're going to be laughing at ourselves a lot in this video. So let's go.
Yeah, we're doing reactions based off the NFL regular seasons, and we just sort of wanted to look back because some of our oldest videos are us predicting this upcoming season. It's always fun to look back on what you said. So he's going to sort of look over some of the divisions, and we're going to briefly talk about some teams that we were surprised by and sort of just talk about it. Some teams.
So let me start. We'll go with the Baltimore Ravens because I think both of us and a lot of the world, honestly, was pretty shocked about how fast Lamar Jackson improved this year and how good he was because the Ravens went 14-2, right, this year? So for me, I started the year, I had their 4 at 6-10, they're sitting at 10-6. I thought they would be around the 8-8 mark, so I thought they would be good, but I didn't think they would even make the playoffs, honestly, and look what they did.
They were number 1 seed, and they're on their way to, possibly the Super Bowl. They came out of nowhere. I think their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, did an excellent job. Lamar Jackson's definitely improved. I'm proud to be the MVP.
Still don't like him, but yeah.
Still, all impressive. This is, I don't really know what to say. We're about to see them in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson, last time he was in the playoffs, had about 4 turnovers, I believe, and a touchdown. Played pretty bad.
I mean, that was his first really experience, though. So
yeah, I mean, he was still very young. I think only played like 3 or 4 games before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ravens, and continuing down the AFC North, I think a lot of the reason people were skeptical about the Ravens was also people were high on the Steelers and the Browns.
Yeah.
People had the Browns. I didn't. I don't think you did. You were pretty skeptical on the Browns.
Yeah, I had them around the same as the Ravens, around 8-8. I kind of thought they would be around there, and it wasn't totally off. They went like 6-10 or something.
I think they went 7-9.
7-9, something like that.
They collapsed. They had drama in their locker room. I think I said that probably in some video beforehand because I was very vocal about that opinion. The Steelers honestly was one of the bigger shocks. Yes, they had a lot of injuries. Big Ben went out earlier, and we were literally talking right before we pressed record. We sort of think the Steelers would have been better. I think they probably would have been in the playoffs.
I think they would still be in the playoffs right now. As we record this, it's after Wild Card weekend. I think they would have been in the division, honestly, if Big Ben was healthy. But
they have the defense, and I think Big Ben could have done something better.
Yeah.
Also, that I think if the Steelers were, competent at offense, they would have been able to beat the Ravens probably 2 times because they barely lost to them. I think they lost to them in overtime.
They lost to them by a field goal. I remember that game was so depressing for me. I remember watching it. Justin Tucker hit a game-winning field goal. So, I mean, they were close. I mean, the Ravens lost to the Browns with one of their losses. They could have lost to the Steelers.
Probably twice because the Steelers would have been fighting harder. We don't know how it could have gone, but the Steelers were definitely surprised. They had injuries with Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner.
Yeah,
I love their defense. Their defense can stay how it is. The offense is going to need some rebuilding this offseason.
For sure. All the offensive linemen are getting older. James Conner is injury prone, and who knows?
Juju needs someone, I think.
He needs someone. I mean, I think Juju, a lot of it is not his fault because of the quarterback situation. Definitely. They're going back and forth between 2 quarterbacks that are both not good. Doesn't help a receiver out at all, but and also being double teamed every game doesn't help at all. No. So I agree, he does need somebody else.
And I think he needs to play more in the slot. I think he was best in the slot, and they just don't. James Washington's really inconsistent. But we can move on. The Bengals were sort of how we expected.
I predicted them to be a little bit better, and they just went to bad. So with some in the AFC South that
the Jags we were pretty on. I was a little bit surprised. They just looked bad.
Yeah, I predicted them to be bad. I thought they were going to be bad.
The Titans, they are a weird team.
I
hate the Titans, but credit to them and credit to their head coach and their offensive coordinator because they said no to Mariota. They realized their mistake, and Tannehill came in, which was a great trade in the offseason. Their defense played pretty well. They actually started using Derrick Henry, and they just beat the Patriots in the playoffs.
I know.
They are possibly the team that ended the dynasty.
Could be.
They have a team. They have talent. The Colts.
Well, I mean, it's Andrew Luck. We didn't think that was going to happen. So, I mean, I had the Colts as winning the division here, but just when Andrew Luck retired, we realized Jacoby Brissett isn't that great. I mean, he's okay, but he's not.
He's not going to take a team to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
So.
They also need a little bit, I think, more offensive weapons.
Yeah, and the Texans were pretty on to what we thought. I think they're pretty around that 9-7, 10-6 range. So
I think it was easier to predict the Texans.
yeah, because they're always around that. You know, I mean, they're always around that 9-7, 10-6 range, and so yeah. So AFC West, I think the biggest one here is the Chargers.
They just collapsed. I think also the Raiders are pretty big as well.
Yeah.
Chiefs did well. Broncos, I like their direction. I love Drew Lock. He's quickly growing to be one of my favorite quarterbacks.
He beat your team.
He did.
Bad.
He has talent. I love Drew Lock. I hope he does so well. But the Chargers just disappointed. This could be the end of Phillip Rivers. And I love Phillip Rivers, and I'm sad he's probably going to go. But that team, they're going to have some rebuilding because Austin Eckler, I believe Justin Jackson, and Melvin Gordon are all free agents this offseason.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers gone. What do they do there? I mean, they have a high pick. They can pick two.
They have that. They also, I mean, there's rumors that Drew Brees maybe could go to the Chargers. I don't know. I mean,
I actually wouldn't be.
I mean, who knows? I mean, they're going to need a quarterback. They have Tyrod Taylor, but
you're not winning a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, I mean, and Drew Brees maybe just to go there for a year to try to do something because their roster is decent enough.
I'd say it's pretty good. They have defensive talent enough, and their offense. I like Austin Eckler a lot better than Melvin Gordon.
And then you got Mike Williams,
Hunter Henry,
Keenan Allen still there. Like they have talent. So, and I thought their talent would produce wins, but clearly it didn't this year. So
Derwin James was injured, and I think that affected the defense.
Yeah, and the Raiders, I like where they're going too. They're probably.
Question is, what do you think on Derek Carr?
Derek Carr
is. Gosh, I think it's a time now that the Raiders need to look at the organization and be like, Derek Carr, this is because some team could take Derek Carr, and I think they could put Derek Carr on the replace him with Jameis Winston. Replace Jameis Winston, Derek Carr. I think the Bucs could be a little bit better.
Well, the Bucs. Yeah.
Sorry. Like Derek Carr goes into the Bucs and replacing Jameis Winston.
Okay.
I think they could.
I thought you meant Jameis Winston.
Yes.
Like no way.
That wouldn't work.
But yeah, I mean, I like Derek Carr. I think he's pretty good. But
I don't know if they can take him. But they have talent.
Yes,
Tyrell Williams, Josh Jacobs, maybe Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
They got players. I like the direction it's going in.
Yeah. So
AFC East real quick. Whoo-wee!
Well, first of all, I think the biggest shock is, I mean, it really doesn't even turn into a big shock. Like the Dolphins were terrible, like for a while. Then they started winning some games towards the end, so it's not as huge of a shock as. Can
we appreciate Fitzmagic for a second?
Man,
the guy won something. He pretty much ended the Colts season.
Yeah.
Thank you. He ended the Patriots season, you may say, because he took him out of the bye seed.
Yeah.
I love the direction the Dolphins are going. They have a lot of
picks,
draft capital to the Texans, and they have some talents. Devontae Parker, the defense was playing well. There was good coaching, and that was evident because they have 5 wins with that roster.
Yeah.
And I don't think Xavier Howard was even playing that season. One of the best. And they lost Minka Fitzpatrick.
I know.
And they got all the wins.
It's crazy. I mean,
the coaching is good.
I mean, you lose one Fitzpatrick plays good, and I don't know. It's the shocker to me. The Bills were a little better than what I thought, at least. Not a whole lot better, but a little better.
Overrated, I think.
Yeah.
This division had a really easy schedule.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen started playing better, and their defense started playing well.
And the Jets didn't do it quite as well as we thought either.
I will say on the Jets, Sam Darnold didn't play the whole season because he was smooching on something and got mono. He, if I'm not mistaken, was 6-1 as a starter. He actually had a good season.
He ruined the Steelers season for sure. I know that.
Mm-hmm. And if they didn't lose to the Dolphins, and they didn't lose to, there was one other team they didn't lose to. And I'm sorry, I think they lost to the Bengals. They would be 9-7, and they could have been in the playoffs.
Could have
easily.
Over the Bills. I mean, they did beat the Bills too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And they were right there in the first game, the first week. I think the only reason they lost is because half the Jets' defense got injured, and Josh Allen made some surprise comeback. But
yeah,
I love the direction of the Jets. Also,
there's a
get
lot
rid
of
Le'Veon Bell. I think.
I love Le'Veon Bell though. Love him. Come back to the Steelers. James Conner sucks.
To be honest,
I mean,
think it's a possibility.
And I love James Conner too. Like James Conner, he's a really good guy. He overcame cancer. Like he's a great guy. He just gets injured a lot. So